Hello, and welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today on this self-care Sunday using the hashtag self-care Sunday 2023. This is following a prompt by Tammy Van Twerp, who has started her journey of self-care, and I've also been watching the lovely Carol at Free Spirits Art, who is taking part as well. So last week I chose the card I Am Focused for my affirmation for the week. And I must be honest, I've probably been the least focused that week than anything. In fact, normally I'm more focused than I was focusing. So that really didn't work for me. Maybe it wasn't what I needed at that time. And this has been a funny old week. I'm filming this and it's now Thursday, and I felt as if I've really struggled this week, mentally and physically, and I think I was more focused on how I was feeling and the things that I hadn't done. And to be honest, when I stopped and thought about it this morning, I've totally overlooked how far that I've come, especially in these last 6 months. So I started tapering down my medications, which I take for fibromyalgia, and I'd always said if the opportunity arises that I can pack my full-time job up, then I would concentrate on getting off some of the medications, because it was very important at the when I was working that I'd got to be well to be able to work. So now that I work from home with Tatty Treasures, that's enabled me, if I don't feel great, then I don't have to work that day. I've got no one to ring up and explain to, and it's given me a lot of freedom that I can juggle things around, and it's lifted a lot of the anxiety of I'm gonna have to ring work and explain that I'm not well, and they're gonna say, when are you gonna come back? And I'm gonna say, how long's a piece of string? Because I used to be off from anything from a day to 2-3 months, depending how bad a flare I was having. And so I always said, if the opportunity arose that I would come down. And 6 months ago I started on that journey, and I've had lots of withdrawals and the typical kind of symptoms of those, and it's been tough, and I've managed to come down a considerable amount in a short time, in 6 months, and it's took a lot of head space. It's not been an easy battle at all, and I think I forget that I've still got my illness, and I'm, withdrawing, and, I now work fully from home. And yeah, I tend to just think, well, this is what I said I was going to do, so I'm doing it. But actually, it's a massive thing, and my life has improved considerably over the past six months. I've started going out walking. Yes, I want to go every day, and I'm unable to do that, and I need to lower those expectations of myself. I went yesterday, and it was wonderful, and how great that I managed to get out. And I'm always concentrating on, I must do it every day, and same with the yoga, I must do it every day, and I don't, you know um no, I don't. And there was a time where I was too poorly to have the grandchildren, and that went on for quite a while. And now I'm having them regularly. They staying over. I stopped going to any kind of family gatherings and things because it absolutely drained me, exhausted me. Just that interaction with everybody, I would get really bad fatigue for days and days. And like I say, when I got to this morning, and I felt as if it had been a rotten week. And then I thought, last Friday we went bowling. There was 11 of us, my daughters and grandchildren, and my aunt. And the following day, I had my 5-year-old granddaughter Saturday and Sunday. And Monday I did a full day in here, catching up on everything. Tuesday I took Colin out. So actually it's been a brilliant week. I can't remember the last time that I did an all day kind of outing and wasn't in bed the following day. And not only wasn't I in bed, I managed to have little Bonnie for 2 days. So, and get back to work on the Monday and take Colin. And yes, I'm exhausted and I'm aching, and my mind is really very tired. And I was feeling very, oh, I must catch up on this, I must catch up on that. And now I'm thinking, actually, anything that I do for the rest of the week is just an absolute blessing. And if I don't want to do anything for the rest of the week, if I want to sit in a bubble bath for the next 3 days, I could. So, yeah, I think I was focusing on the wrong things. I was focusing on the kind of the end game, whereas I'm not being focused upon the things that I'm able to do. So that was last week. So the card that I've chosen for this week is, with each breath, my body becomes healthier and stronger. So I am definitely going to keep this out. I made a big mistake of putting that card away last week, and obviously just, forgetting all about it. So I'm definitely keeping this out. And when I'm in here, I'm going to have it in here. And when I'm in my bedroom, I'm going to have it in my bedroom. Because I've got a really forgetful mind. And, I will just totally forget about it. So that is what I'm going to concentrate. And I did manage to do some yoga this morning, and yeah, I really did some nice breathing, and yeah, I feel so much more clear-headed. I felt so muddy. It's probably the mud from my walk the week before when me and Emmy was covered. But yeah, I feel a lot more clear-headed. So I did show you those conversation cards last week, and so you start up on the warm-up. So I've just picked the first one out. So I'm going to try and do it as like a fast you know, answer. I don't think you'll want a detailed answer for each one. That being said, I probably will waffle because I can't help it. So what was the last movie you watched? I think it was Elvis. And it was at the cinema. Now, I'm trying to think if I've actually watched a film with the children. And I don't think we have, because they just seem to be into short cartoons at the moment. So yes, Elvis was the last film I watched. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Did a lot of crying. Which country would you love to visit? I've only ever been overseas once, and I was about 10, and I went to Spain, to Benidorm with my grandparents. I've never really wanted to go anywhere. I've never yearned to go anywhere. I've always been quite content with going to our seaside and our countryside, because you know the UK is an absolutely stunning place. But and I've never really, you know, took interest in even finding out anything about different places or anything. But I've still got my mum's ashes, and I'm going to take her to Santorini, because it was, my mum went all over. You know, she went to Egypt and lots of places, and yeah, we've spoken, you know, me and my auntie and stuff, and looked through photos and stuff. And yeah, Santorini was my mum's favourite place. So next year, we're, as many of us as I know, 2 of my daughters are going to come. I don't think my oldest will be able to, because you know she's got the 5 children. So, and now I've been looking at Santorini. It's absolutely beautiful. And I contacted a lady who my mum met there. The lady's husband owned a restaurant there, and yeah, she even could remember the hotel that my mum stayed in. We're not going to stay at the same hotel. And some of the places that that my mum liked. So you know, there's a church there, and so yeah, we'll be visiting some of those places. Who is the oldest person you know? So I don't know many old people. I've always lived next door to elderly people, and I really miss that. I've got a younger girl on one side and a couple the other side. So knowing is probably um, my grandma's sister is still alive. She's in a late 80s. In fact, she might be 90 now. So yeah, not many at all. One of my first jobs was working in elderly care. So yeah, I've had, you know, lots of interactions with older people, and I do miss them. I love to hear stories and things. There is a lot of older people further down the street, and you know, if I manage to catch them and stuff, I always do have a conversation with them. So that is those. I would love to know yours. So if you want to leave it in the comment, last movie, country you would love to visit, and the oldest person you know. And you know, if you want to comment about this week's affirmation, or you know, something that you're going to concentrate on for this coming week, then I would love to hear from you. So I'll put that at the bottom of the pile, so I'm not you know, picking the same card over and over again. So that is that. So thank you very much for joining me. I'm just going to plod along this following week and breathe. I'm just going to breathe. So from me to you, thank you so much for joining me. Have a super week, and I'll speak to you very soon. Bye for now.